Thanks.
You've got 17
I can help you there with that, sir. Thank you very much. That's the one, is it?
Good morning.
Good morning, Roger. How are you?
Wonderful.
Wait, stay right there. Stay right there.
Could you move up just a little? Thank you.
Because the basket's divided into compartments, and in each corner you'll be a group of 5. So we'll let you guys sort that out for yourselves. And wish you an absolutely fabulous trip. Take lots of pictures. You've got fabulous weather, and we'll be waving to you in the sky.
All right, thank you.
So S in here will drive you to your balloon and introduce you to the pilot. Okay?
Great.
Have a good time.
Well, then for you.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, wow. There they are. Well, I think that's a different company. Yeah.
Anyone can see this.
Oh, I see.
Yep. A little snow. Mm-hmm.
Like this.
She's our son. Here is, the sun is just beginning to rise, and you see the four, I'm not sure what you call that, but the way that the light is shining on the column of light right above it. There it is. There it is. Oh my. That is just marvelous to look at, and it's looking great in the monitor of the camera too. Meanwhile, here's our balloon being blown up.
live, right?
Perfect. Okay, and do you want to take your parachute off? Put it on the floor. We've taken off all the other balloons. Always, every morning, they always take off from the same. That's nice and quiet. Last year, yeah. Why is that? Pretty cool, huh? There's always a rock in the way. It's okay. It's okay.
Joy.
Cheese.
That's it, right.
Looking down below.
自分のとこが一番高く上がるよみたいな。怖いな。綺麗。ちょっと慣れてきた。
Village of Gourmet, he said. And actually, I think we're just beginning to come over the Museum of Gourmet.
カメラとメニューは任せる。
The parking area down there. And so here's the Valley of Gourmet.
Down. I mean, they've collapsed, exposing the inside. So you can see what you see there is the inside of the. Oh, over here as well. You can see.
まだ前髪がバルーンが見えへん。
And there's the entryway to Gurame.
バルーンが見えない。頭に隠れたから。どっか違う。
Way up there.
今度は前髪ちゃんと。
We're leaving Gurame Valley way back there.
It's nice watching the shadows.
Wave!
Wave, everybody wave.
あれかな、火で赤くなったんかな。夕日モードじゃないの。おお、すごい。なんかシャッターがピッた。すごいね。
Looks like an eagle.
Yeah. Looks like an eagle, doesn't it?
Like an eagle. Oh yeah, no kidding. Look at it. Penguin back there. Yeah, sure is.
These are.
Michael. Yeah, can you see the sand towards Sword Valley?
ああ、いい感じ。メモリ買うけどまだ。彼の上穴がってんや。
Not there, just the volcano on this side. I hope you can see it.
And above 4 knots, so a bit of a speed.
逆にでき
5 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour. But still, there's no wind troubling with it. And it's beautiful. Yeah, Mr. I got 5 knots an hour.
恋でもゆっくりやし優雅やね。
But 6, 7. Alışkanlık hocam.
絶景がでっかい。遠くまで見える。影が面白いな、なんか。結構なスピード。
Yeah, another couple of minutes or so. A little bit further over, drop down again. You know, in a balloon we don't.
めっちゃ上から
You want this
の
corner? It's very
上空
stable.
写真とかあるやん。
Hang on.
Three,
Yeah, we
2, 1.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, the
Cheese. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
あれ面白いよな、なんか。
Sideways, outwards, right? And it spins us around like a little jet of hot air escaping. Spins us around. Very simple. Well, it has to be for me.
Why are there 4 separate burners?
It's because it needs lots of power. It's got a large balloon. Yeah. You have plans, but the plans often change in the flight because the wind is changing. They're changing degrees, changing height and so. So you have different plans. By the time you get over here, the wind has changed again.
Tiger gloves. I don't even have one. Oh. 7 layer.
Oh, this is obvious. We're looking towards Gurame Valley again. In the open air museum.
I've got 4.6 knots at 240 degrees.
So this is looking up Gurame Valley, and then over here is the next valley. I don't know what that is.
Museum over there.
Yeah.
やっぱり作られたもの、あれも素晴らしいけど、やっぱりね。
Frank, what do you think of
Trying
this?
to get as much left as possible and try and get into Love Valley if possible.
What's
One
the
out
fake?
of 10.
Whoa, you just experienced it. It's incredible.
Yeah. Angela?
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. All right. Joy?
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Josh?
Oh, what? It's cold, but it's fun.
All right. Aaron, what's your opinion?
Unexpected.
Pardon?
Unexpected.
All right.
I just wish my wife were here to see this. This is incredible.
Okay.
Glad I came.
Very difficult at the moment looking at those flats down there.
I could see doing this in there.
Beautiful valley. And
You let me know if you can stop, then I'll go up and come
I don't
back
think
in
there's a
again.
lot of.
You can go up.
So she could go shopping and stay in the. Second.
Yep, there they are following us.
yeah, I'm heading towards Big Valley and maybe later.
Okay, I'm just going to come.
Now, what town is this, Mike?
Gourmet.
This is Gourmet, okay.
You're going off that, huh? Yeah, it's turning from the south side onto the left. Southeasterly direction.
We have to fly quite high over the village because Turkish people don't much get up in the morning.
Neither do I.
It's Monday. All at once.
Oh, the women.
You can solve all the problems of the world.
I don't think so.
I'm not so sure about that.
Right there in the coffee house.
Oh.
That's what they do all day.
This valley in Central now.
He's turning out killing people.
Yeah.
Some demon. Well, we heard that one before.
So we're coming from Gourmet. Looking over towards Ukizar. A lot of eroded dwellings here. They're the mafia?
You notice all the black cars outside.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's right, yeah.
All right.
Last year, most companies, they start with one balloon and they gradually build up. He started with lots of balloons, bought lots of balloons, lots of crew, lots of...
Yeah, I'm going to come down and join you there, and we stay out there for about 10 minutes or so. Huh?
Lovely valley to walk down, this valley. Nothing.
Knots. Yeah, you can see me, sir. On me last side, I'll be climbing.
And there's a souvenir stand.
I'll jump on. Yeah.
North south.
60 knots?
16.
Oh, it's just a summer
Little
home.
condo down there. Yeah.
Five more minutes, is that good sound? Go ahead, last time. Yeah, it would be, I'm still heading for Cappadocia.
We've done almost everything today. We've almost done Red Valley, Rose Valley, we did Michigan, the Zem. Nice.
Oh!
Look at Salem landing. Okay, hold on.
Şimdi askere gidiyor.
There it comes.
Just our group? Our group only. Our group only. Our group only. Come here, take these. Okay. Everybody, our group. Just our group. Just our group. Get together again. Come on.
Watch the landing.
Here we go.
All right. No, just our group. Just our group.
They had a better landing.
Yeah.
Aaron, get over here, big man.
Oh, look.
You get us all?
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, yeah, I had a granola bar, but I was like 14 when I woke up.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, that's kind of like, We both said Ireland.
Kylie!
All right.
Too English.
Yeah, you put in your complaints to him, not to me.
Yeah, this is my boss. Yeah, all problems.
Thank you.
You've been the most perfect passengers this morning.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
First flight.
No, cheers, everybody. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a tightrope walker.
Oh, okay.
Circus tightrope walker. Yeah.
A tightrope walker.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenalist.
All right.
Oh, wow. How's your flight out there?
Did you fly, Alfie?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was brave with all stuff up. Thank you.
So it's Angel Tower as a train station here. Looks rather out of place with the color at least. But
Here we are all looking at Mount Hassan. Hassan Dagh.
Thanks everyone, and then we'll continue on to Konya. Thank you. Abi muhteşem bir İslam anlamı. Mükemmel oldu, çok beğendim. Adam da meyve aldı. Yeah, where's the rest of all this? And we have the group cat with us. My ladies and gentlemen, you can see the type of the stone which this was constructed with. Many buildings we've seen in Cappadocia had this kind of volcanic tuffaic stone. We're not far from Mount Hassan, as you have noticed. And a caravanserai of the 13th century, built in 1229. Sultan, the word we use in Turkish is sultan. Hanı is the inn. And the innkeeper had 2 rooms. In one he resided, in the other he kept all the valuables, like a safe. Remember when the Temple of Artemis was built, it was the biggest temple in all the pagan world. And it had vaults in the bottom like a safe, like we have in the banks. People kept their treasures there, other than it was a temple. So of course, when people were traveling between cities like on the Silk Route, they needed installations like this for the safety, like the motels, roadside hotels we have in our times, that they could spend the night. And at the same time, we're having some lovely students with their outfits in the back of the bungalow. They're just coming out of school and probably learning a few words, trying to practice it, and they're discovering what there are in all these rooms. Probably their teacher told them to go out and check it out and all of that. So this is like elementary school kids, maybe 4th, 5th grade in that line. And basically, in this area, they would spend the night with their animals. Now the far corner, which I will walk you to at the end, and you can look around, is where they kept the animals. So it's a little spooky, that part. But these areas here is all space which was utilized by those travelers. And of course this area where it says Oda, O-D-A, meaning room. And erkek hamam, the one next to it, is men's bath, like a Turkish bath, right? I'll talk to you about baths later on, but every section was for some reason, and of course they had rooms to sleep in, rooms where they ate, and kept the animals far in the corner. And it was always open like this. Only the top line has been restored, which you can notice. The rest is all original 1229, with a small masjid, meaning a small mosque, as you can read it, like mezquita in Spanish. And so you reach it from the steps on the other side. This, I think, with some of the exhibits from the nearby villages, how they were plowing the fields and all of that, is an interesting area. And this is now almost 11:28. Let's be back on the bus, 1:45. That will give you 17 minutes. They have facilities here, and if you want to get something, souvenirs there, you can. But I will lead the way to where the animals was, so you can get the original look as well.
Here's the steps leading up to the masjid.
This is all Selçuk land, S-E-L-C-U-K, and they were the forefathers of the Turks today, before the Ottomans were. You can see the steps leading up to the mezquita in front from this side. Now see you on
Tickets.
They treated their animals well. This would be the area where they bed down with the animals.
structure.
Throw the oil down.
This is the interior of the masjid. Yeah, notice the cone that's curved on the inside, the dome, is a conical dome on the outside. There are watchtowers on the corners as well. And one last look before we get on the bus.
Gözünün önüne bak o zaman.
Çok kalabalık. We are going to take off our shoes, carry them with us.
I think you're gonna have to do your scarf off.
It's a museum, you don't have to.
Kind of like an organized, I mean, instead of a collection of churches.
The door behind me was where the caretaker of this convent used to be. This is his room. This museum is like a museum of calligraphy. These are all pieces of calligraphy collected from different institutions and brought right here. And I will explain more inside where there's more silence. But look at this carving here. This is Gerdes, 17th century. And that's another Gerdes, which is 18th century. The older one is the newer one in the same time. And this door in front of you, look down there, that is a silver door. It's opening into the convent. Let's go in. Do our pictures at the end, okay? Let's do our guided part first, please. I don't know if you've noticed the carpets. Star of David is the design in these rooms. And we're seeing April is when we get the rich rains. And it is an old tradition to collect the first rain of the spring in a bowl and pray for abundance. So this bowl was made in 1333 and was sent here to the Sultan as a gift. We are seeing Mevlana's words of wisdom. Come, come again, whoever, whatever you may become. Heathen, fire worshipper, sinful or idolater, come. Come even if you broke your penitence 100 times. Ours is not the portal of despair and misery. Come. That's the door of hope when you walk into this convent. And you are noticing another one of his sayings here in Turkish, which translates, do not misrepresent yourself. Be whoever you are. Don't act like somebody else, which you're not. These are turbans, and we have fezzes on the other side. These are some of the 29 very close comrades of Mevlana buried around him. And they have different covers to the hats, because each one shows a different elevation in that order, the religious order called the Mevlevi. So that's where it's coming from. When you look to the left, you are beginning to see the top three biggest. Two on the right together and one on the left. If you look from where I stand, you can see the tallest one of all. That in fact is Mevlana's father. Mevlana and his son are buried together. And even though the father's one looks like the tallest, some of the local people see to think that his father stood up when his son died out of reverence because of the elevation he had reached. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just that the front of the burial area is higher. Of course, he wouldn't be standing up when his son died. So basically, that is what you are noticing, and that is all under that turquoise tile which you saw from the outside. What you're listening to is the Sufi music. Sufi is the dance and the order for the whirling dervishes. That's where the word comes from. And you are seeing a group of Turkish people to the left with their hands open. They're praying for the deceased. And this is one of the things Muslims are told to learn from the dead. That one day we will all die and we will all go down on the ground, and that to make sure that we behave while we live is the important thing. Not understand it after you die. That's why people visit these places and pray for the deceased. Let's go closer to that, please. No, before. I will come to you. No. We'll do our pictures later, okay? But look at the beauty of inside that tower. This is from 1284, everyone, this tower, and all the decorations. These are called Turkish triangles, and I will explain when we come to Bursa why they're known as Turkish triangles. This way. Here, please. Chop, chop. I will give you free time at the end. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this way, please. Thank you. The section which you are seeing screened off was for the ladies when this was the mosque. Remember I said it's joined into the museum after a while. This is the one with one minaret we saw from the distance. Because the two minareted mosque is on the other side of the street. So the ladies would be upstairs during prayers and the men would be on the ground floor. But when this became part of the museum, of course they could exhibit all these things. But also they were using it for the Sufi special gatherings. And I will tell you what those will be very soon when I show you something else. But these are all the flutes, the drums, the cymbals, the violins, which are the instruments that you are listening to as part of the Sufi music. These used to be all oil lamps burning at the time. And the beautiful oil lamp you can see here, right above the heads of these three ladies in front of us, okay? From Egypt, and that's 14th century. And two more to the left, if you can notice over there, okay? And they are, in those showcases, special outfits used by Mevlana, some of them by the people that worked with it. You're also noticing on this side the beginning of the 6 volumes of the book. The move on a little bit to that corner, please.
This is the oil lamp and the clothing. That he was talking about. Or the other oil lamps.
You can see later on how beautifully gold gilt these books are. The way the binding was done, it's beautifully done in the 13th century. And yet we are also beginning to see more of these old carpets on the walls. Like that one is from the 16th century, a prayer carpet from central Anatolia where we are. And others with the two prayer niches shown. It's like whichever way you turn to is Mecca, is what that means. Because out in the desert, you have no clue where Mecca is. And Mecca is anywhere you turn to, is where it all comes from. And then, you can see an 18th century carpet on the floor. This is only 40 years old. This was done in Hereke, wool on cotton. And one thing that you will see right here would be these two lovely collections of the rosaries. The regular rosary we have basically comes with 99 beads. Because of the 99 names of Allah, the God, each one showing an attribute of Allah, and that's how we recognize what kind of a high being He is through the adjectives describing Him. Normally, it comes like this in 33s, so you multiply it 3 times, 99. This has 990. It's for a huge crowd that would circle around in a room like this, and that is called the Zikr Rosary. And people will sit around and pass it one after the other, all reciting the same things from the Quran. Like the hymns you have in a Mevlevi gathering. That is what that is all about. Let us remember, at the time of the Mongol invasion of Asia Minor into Europe, this is the 13th century, when they devastated everything and burnt everything down. So the family of Mevlana, who lived in Balkh in Afghanistan, when he was born there in 1207, so that's 800 years ago from this year. This is the 800-year anniversary of that. So it's the year of Mevlana by the UNESCO this year. A very important year to be here also. And that will be on the 17th of December, the night when he reached God. When he died, in the Sufi expression, it is said he walked to God. Alright? That is how it is described. And so it will be that night that the whole area will be full with people. They're expecting about 100,000 people to show up just for that one night from different parts of the world, and the place can only take 20,000 people. So there'll be more outside than inside, and you would never ever be able to get into this place, even though you waited 24 hours. It becomes overexciting in Konya on that night, any year. But this year is very special because of the 800 years. The family of Mevlana moved here from Afghanistan, and by about 1228 they settled around Karaman. Karaman is south of Çatalhöyük, where we will go next. And that's where the father, Bahaddin, who was also a theologian, was teaching. By which time the Sultan Alauddin Keykubat found out how good he was in theology, invited him to the University of Konya to teach. And that's how he came here in 1228 and taught here till 1231, till he died. And that's where he was buried. The father, like the standing up figure, okay? So then his son, Mevlana, replaced him. Until he died in 1273, he was the main theologian of the 13th century. The most famous because he preached love. And this is what this is all about. You know, in your faith, in my faith, in the faith of God, love is the most important thing you can put your money on. So Mevlana became widely followed. They have followers of Mevlana all around the world. And that is why Sufism as a sect is mostly read everywhere in the world, because he's teaching this peace and love to the people. He met someone by the name of the son of Tabriz, not the sun, but like the sun and the moon, son of Tabriz. And he was his tutor for a while. This man that taught Mevlana what he knew not was a man who was dressed like a monk. And he was, to most people, they could see no relevance why Mevlana would spend so much time with Shams. Shams of Tabriz, meaning the son of Tabriz, was the teacher of Mevlana. In a way, like my professor and me. After a certain portion of the knowledge you acquire, you meet with someone who is far superior than you. You try to spend as much time with that person as possible. And Mevlana spent most of his time with him, so his followers were rather jealous of this whole thing. And at that time, they asked him why he was spending so much time. And he said, I'm learning a great deal from him. And so they said, well, we thought you were the best teacher of all. What is it you don't know that you are learning from him? And one thing is a story told. He said many things, but let me give you one simple example, he said. Before having had met Shams, I used to go home in the winter when it's cold. In Konya, it's freezing cold in the winters. He used to put the stove in action, would warm up, and he'd cook for himself and he'd feel happy. But having had met Shams, when he did the same after meeting him, he started thinking about all of those who were left still on the street in the cold and hungry. So that's just an example of the teachings of Shams to Mevlana. Followers of Mevlana were very jealous of him. There's even saying that he might have been killed by some of those followers, because he disappeared twice from the life of Mevlana, and Mevlana was in terrible condition, having lost a friend like, a teacher like Shams, and was very quiet for a couple of years, and then he reappeared and disappeared for the second time, and that was it. And Mevlana died in 1273, and he was buried over there, and his son Veled, who followed him, is the founder of the order which you were asking me about. That is how the order was formed and the Sufi sect was formed. It wasn't done by Mevlana himself. Alright? And so basically, that is the story in a nutshell of the Mevlevi people. You can read that book in 6 volumes with many chapters. They're beautiful, really. Some of you have read it, you told me. We better see more of this museum this way, please. Quran, they will sit cross-legged in front of a stool which is like this. And that's called a rahle. Okay? Like an X shape, and you will kneel in front and put the book and read from it. So that's a rahle. This way, please. A little closer, please. Thank you very much. My ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing various examples of the Quran from different periods. If I was to tell you that this is a full-size Quran, and if you came close and looked at it, this little one here is as big as the big one next to it. Because it was an art form in those years to even write a full verse on one rice piece. Then you can appreciate the mightiness of that Quran in full. And in fact, there should be in this window, yes, there they are, behind this gentleman, 6 rice pieces in the box. There it is. One sideways to the other, in case 6 little pieces of rice on which these verses from the Quran are written. You can see it in that showcase. And also I want you to go very close to that one here in the corner. And later on make a point of taking a picture. It's beautiful. It's done on gazelle skin. It's from the 9th century AD, and it's the portion of the Quran talking about Virgin Mary. So that's the chapter 19, Virgin Mary of the Quran, and that is called papyrus, which was being done in Egypt. But then when it came to an end, they used parchment, very light skins of animals. And when we're in Pergamon, I will make the differentiation, but that is done on parchment, gazelle skin, very fine, like paper you will see it, okay? Make sure you watch that. And one of the belongings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is this in this little box. We have this in all our museums. There's always a piece of the beard of Muhammad kept inside. People have kept it.
It's very special to me.
Okay? Yes. So we will all ask for a piece of Father Tom's beard before he leaves Turkey, okay? So when you look...
See Joe Quintana about that.
Please look over on this side. I want you to notice that carpet. It has like a turban shape, doesn't it? With writings at the top and on the side. That particular carpet is called the Topkapı group of rugs, with the same name as the palace of Topkapı, because they were made for the sultans living in Topkapı. The next one is again, I believe, 15th century prayers niche design from Turkey. And the next one is an Iranian one with the Kaaba at the top. And that is a silk carpet with 928 double knots to a square inch. Vicky's finest. And that is here from Iran, one of the fine carpets of the 16th century, showing the entrance to the mosque design. And the next carpet here comes with double prayer niches, so 2 people can pray side by side. And then a beautiful wood shutter next to it, and a kilim which is so old and so worn out, so bad in condition, just showing us what if you don't take good care of your kilims, this is what they will be like. They could have put millions of others, good examples of the kilims in that space. So I see no reason why it should be here other than that. Now that is where I'm going to meet you when you are finished. And this is 8 minutes before the hour of 3. In 23 minutes, 10 after, to give you plenty of time, if you will go from here, look to the left, please, my laser pointer. If you go left of that, he'll bring you back to where we went through. So you can do the same ring again and meet me outside, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. Grain of wheat. Okay, thank you. Here is the crown of Virgin Mary. The miniature.
As well. Now this is something very important for teachers. The third one is for the teachers. If they have raised good students who will do the same after the teacher dies, 24 diyor çatalı. That will go to their credit as well, the teachers. So this is in fact are the only three ways the deceased will be benefiting from the prayers in the Muslim faith. Alright, Father Tom, this is... But sağda bir sarı yer görüyor musun?
Gördüm
orası.
Now we can see Çatahoyuk in the distance, the little white
Nereden
building.
giriyoruz inşallah?
Var. Devam.
Aslında yellow cross.
Sonra da zaten o Konya diyor. Buradan dönüp gideceksin, tamam mı?
I didn't think so, Carol. I thought it was wrong.
There's a brand new board they have placed. For the first time they have numbered certain things. This is about 21 meters deep. That's about 63 feet deep. Underneath us, on top of this tumulus we are. And the covering is from 2003, just recently made. And I wish they could have done that years ago. The difficulty of excavating a place like this, it snows over the areas which have been excavated. And it covers the sections that you keep excavating as a result of the wind blowing and all of that. So covering it, sheltering it, is definitely the way to go about in order to keep this digging proceed to different levels, that level, all right? That did not
This is where
exist
last summer's
year.
excavation was, on the left-hand
The
side.
deepest part, of course, existed, but the section to the left is where they're working here at the moment. Now, you will like the next excavation area better done by the Americans, because it's more organized. And I will take you there next.
Oldest site that we know in the world.
No, the oldest site is Göbekli Tepe. And Göbekli Tepe is about 2,500 years older than this one. And that's, remember, near Urfa, Edessa, which I showed you on the map, which I said is where now they're thinking is where Adam and Eve must have lived. All right, that's closer to Mesopotamia on the Turkish-Iraqi border. Okay? But you see, they have covered it until they will put a shelter on it now. Then they will dig into it. They're learning more in our times. They have more sophisticated little gadgets they use to find the things. So things are moving rapidly in our times.
Here's the panorama from the top of the mound. Now we're going into the north house, I guess, and this is a new excavation covered by sandbags. I'll have to check the website to see just what's happening here.
And here we're actually seeing the artifacts found in building 5. They have numbered this as the 5th building. And number 1, which you see right here, is in fact the mud brick wall of building 1. Right? Number 2 is the mud brick wall of building 5. And number 2 is this one. Okay, so that's number 1, that's number 2. Number 3 is the plaster covering of the wall. Number 4, from hard to see, but behind number 3 here on the floor, number 4 is the plastered floor. And let's go in number 5, wall post scar up here. And number 6, down here, number 6 is the platform. Number 7 is the crawl way, through here, crawling. Number 8 is the ladder scar, this ladder to go up. Now when I will bring you into this newly built mud brick wall and house, at the end, next to the museum, you will see the ladder leading up like this. Remember, they wanted to bury their dead at the bottom in order not to disturb their soul, and they were revering their dead people and thinking if they had taken them away to be buried, they would be left alone and they would come back in the form of bad spirits to them, so they were afraid. And this is what is known as ancestor worship in ancient worshipping styles, is why they buried them at the bottom and lived on top of it. So it's underneath this floor number 4 where they were buried. But in time, to the level where we had in this very first big excavated site, you can easily tell how farther it's gone down. So further down you go here, you will find another house. Down below, another house. So this is like one house on top of another. And at the end, at different levels, because we're talking about 9,350 from our times to 7,500 from our times is when Neolithic life here existed for about 1,500 years. So in the 1,500 years, different levels were used. And eventually the last level, being the level where we are now, is where they lived. So at that time, because of all the dead being under, where they were entering in by a regular doorway, not to disturb the dead this time, they went up through number 8 to the top of the house on a flat roof and entered from the rooftop. And those houses at the top do not have doors, but entrance from the rooftop. But the levels at the bottom have doors. That's the difference. Okay? So please try to see this as the top level from approximately 7,500 years ago, where they lived. And down below, 9,350, and further they will go with that first excavation site. I'm sure they'll go down to earlier periods, like probably to about 11,000 years before our times is what they will reach. And then number 9 is the oven, which is right here, for cooking and heating purposes. Number 10, the bin remains, right down here. And number 11, where is it? There's being lots of them on the hillside. So this is a perfect excavated area, perfectly kept, in real wonderful conditions. And imagine those paintings were on these walls before they were taken to Ankara. It's very difficult to remove them in pieces like that and put them together on the walls. We noticed them. And let's not forget, they are some of the earliest paintings as frescoes made by mankind in the world. Now, in the museum, you will see more of this put together, and it will mean more to you And also there is a video to watch over there, which I will take you next to. And then we have that little cubicle, like one of these homes, newly made, so you get the full picture when you go in. Before it gets dark, I'd like to take you into that one because it doesn't have windows, just the entrance. So let's go to that one next.
Now here's the valley in the other direction, and going towards the museum and the buildings. The experimental.
You do that? That's cool.
We're basketball.
Aren't the people smaller? I mean, the skeletons.
Yeah, well, mostly.
Yeah, and shorter than we tend to be.
Three. Chop, chop, here we are.
20 seconds, chop, chop, fast and rapid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone behind you?
Yes, Roger and
Be careful, Anne, when you come in, okay? This will be interesting to see Roger come in.
Flashing his pictures.
Make it look good, right?
we're all watching.
We were all excited to see you come in.
Now get away from the light.
Right.
That's the only light.
Yeah, now get out of the way. That's a funny thing for a Monsignor to say.
Don't stand in the way of the light.
Oh, okay, that's
Ooh.
So, my ladies and
Monsignor has spoken.
this is an experimental unit they have recently made. Right? It's been about here 6-7 years now, I think. And it's the sun-dried mud brick. And the opening leather is right here. This is how they would reach to the top. Now, of course, this is for our entrance only. That wasn't there. But for us to be able to come in is why they have that opening. So the original entrance is from the rooftop for the reason. And that gave them another source of security towards the wild animals. They could walk from rooftop to the next, okay? While the animals were on the street life, and so they would be safe inside. And this, let's not forget, is when people are passing from cave life to an open area out in the open like this. So security. And they're doing some gardening work. Ama yavaş diyor abi fotoğraf. This is like the sun-dried mud brick home we just walked into. Exactly the same material is still being used. Our return route is a little different. There are no signs coming from this side, so it's very difficult to find Çatalhöyük coming from this direction. And I was always thought to come from the other way around, so look at all the roosters here, having fun. Enjoying it, and look at the little one next to the tractor and grandma. She's seated right next to her. And they're coming back from the fields. This is the time of the day when they're returning. And this is basically real rural Konya outskirts, some 35 kilometers, like 25 miles outside, southeast of Konya is where we are. I'm sorry?
Trying to take pictures.
Take pictures. You want to come to the front? Anyone wants to come to the front? I'll send him to the back and you can sit in his place. The men are outside the cafe, 3 of them. deciding who should be the next president right there. While the ladies, you don't see them out. They're preparing dinner, and he sent the grandchild to get something from the 7-Eleven store. And look at all the bales of hay and all the animals coming back and all the wood to burn to the right. Kind of Catholic lifestyle, isn't it? With maybe modern amenities put together.
Like the red door.
Right.
That red door was amazing.
Yavaş gitmeye devam edeceğiz mi? Basim gideyim mi?
This is what you call free range chickens.
Very definitely. Free range chickens.
Sen aynadan idare et. Ben arkamı
Tamam baba.
görmüyorum. Duruma göre gidiyoruz işte. Vaktimiz var. Ladies are now discussing what to cook for dinner now.
We may be the biggest excitement of the day.
We are. Koy bir müzik bakalım abi.
Kapat baba mikrofonu. Araba yukarı. CD var ya. Şimdi
Kapadım ben.
o disk yazıyor. Var. Bak abi.
Here we are on our way back from Çatalhöyük, driving through the fields, well irrigated.
I'm coming down.
Turkeys in Turkey.
Gitme. Kaçıyorlar.
Focus on you.
I love it. Vay be, öndeki amma kabarmış ha.